Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Buppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters, and I've been talking for about 10 seconds and my voice is already starting to feel a bit funny. So there you go. That's how it happens, but we're going to keep on going on no matter what because we love casting Starcraft 2. Starcraft 2. I don't know what I said. It's like Starcraft, but yeah, that would be awesome. We'd have like dinosaurs or something. Anyway, moving on. Mr. Life down at the bottom right hand side of the map is played by Mr. Life. He is 17 years old from South Korea, plays for the Startail team, is quite awesome in many different ways. And he's going for a pool into a hatch build, so quite an interesting playstyle there. And he's actually put it in an interesting location, I'm guessing, to sort of protect these guys, get an early gas there, something like that. I don't know. Maybe he's worried about Banelings rolling all the way into his main base, but whatever. His opponent is going to be Mr. Jaedong, 24 years old, from South Korea, plays for the Evil Geniuses team, and he has been known once or twice to roll Banelings into an opponent's base, so I guess Life's precautions not entirely unnecessary, but look at this, man. He's putting this in the same area. I don't know. Do these guys always do this? Have I just not noticed? They always put the spawning pool to protect the gas? I feel like they haven't been doing that every time, but maybe I've been wrong. Anyway, so Jaedong is going for it. He's going to get the Overlord out just in time. Actually, it's going to be a little bit late, so he won't be able to build the Queen straight away, but there it goes, like half a second afterwards, so not all that late, but perfect timing nonetheless. And is this the... No, this is the first Queen? First Queen coming out? No, this is the second Queen. There's a Queen already over there, so pretty nice stuff. Should I keep the zoom like this all the time? That's what I'm wondering. If I have a look at the frames per second, a bunch of link attacks happening over here. Not too much. I'm wondering if I should keep it like that all the time. It doesn't really affect the FPS. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll experiment with that because I can definitely see a lot more stuff happening over here. But then again, I mean, looking at this screen, there's all this empty space around the sides, so it's not all that helpful, I guess. At the points where I can't fit the entire army into the map, then I'll definitely do it. But I gotta remember to start doing that because I don't use that feature nearly as often. If you are watching a replay, it is Alt-Z, which is the zoom out. So you press Alt-Z once, it zooms out. You press Alt-Z again, and it zooms in. And there's no real way of controlling it. So you zoom out, and then the zoom, I'm hitting the mouse wheel right now to zoom and it's doing nothing. So it's a static zoom setting. You press Alt-Z, it zooms in, and then you have control over your zooming like normal. Hey, that's always fun. So here we go. Double Evo chamber blocking off, as well as a creep tumor, which is not actually going to block anything. What is this lag going on? Something's not right when my computer's lagging. Okay, there we go. Beautiful, block that off, and Jaedong's like, you know what, screw you, buddy, I'm not even worrying about that. He's actually built a ton of lings right now, 25 over 12, but Life is building 10 more, so gonna be fine. As far as tech is concerned, Jaedong has a Baneling net, he's building a ton more lings, so he's going to go for a lot of Baneling pressure right here. He's actually managed to push up a bit more than Life as far as workers are concerned, as far as army is concerned. He's looking quite powerful in this game, I've got to say. He's only one gas, both players only on one gas, but he's definitely pushed out a bit more of an army, and Life does have this whole thing warded off. He's got a third Evo chamber. Whoa, that was not very good. He needs to plug that gap up ASAP, because that was scary. If there were Banelings coming through there, not good. Here we go, the Ling's coming out, but they're going to be running in a sec because so many Banelings are getting trapped by the opposing Lings, and now the Banelings are coming through. Block the gap, block the gap. He's not blocking the gap. The Banelings get through, the Lings get through. One Queen is going to get down, the Banelings coming across. Not really seeing much they can do around here, so they're going to go for the main base. They're going in. One Baneling is going to get taken out by the Queen, but the other one explodes ground zero. However, he needs to do a bit more damage to get in there and really take them out. So not a lot of workers getting destroyed. If a second Baneling got in there, then it would be chaos. But here we go, finally blocking it off. Jaedong continuing to send more units in here, more reinforcements, but I think Life might be able to hold it here. The problem is he's got to unplug that gap every time he wants to send out reinforcements, but so many forces coming out of Jaedong, they're just going to run straight forward, and Life plugs the gap once again. Double Queens to plug this gap. but he does not have nearly enough DPS to actually stop them from attacking and destroying the Evo Chamber or just the Queen, man. They're getting in there, attacking the Queen. The Ling's coming around. Got to try and save these Queens. Just managed to do so. But Jaedong continuing to put the pressure on. At the same time, he is getting a lair. He's getting a second gas. So he's doing all sorts of awesome stuff. Life using the confusion to get a nice semi-scout off of Jaedong's base, but not really able to do too much. And still, Life is on the back foot right now with no end in sight. I don't think I do. Oh no, she's not plugging up the gap. The Ling's coming in, but they're just attacking for now. Choosing to get it there. Maybe a little bit wary about getting hit by a critical Baneling hit. Waiting for their own Banelings maybe, but here we go. I mean, they could basically just run in, attack this, and start wiping out these Evo Chambers. There's so many Lings out here. Life could start to knock back on them, but I mean, look at this. We got 9 Lings versus 25, and that seems to be the exact ratio that we had so many minutes ago. And here we go, Jaedong moving in once again. And yeah, he's not really going at it too much. And the crazy thing is, we haven't really seen a retaliation attack so much. Usually, what you'll see is a bunch of Lings come in, Life produces a bunch of Lings, and at the same time, Jaedong produces a bunch of macro. But we haven't really seen that, I guess because he never really got in there and did a ton of damage. He sort of got blocked off at every turn. So he still continued to build all of this stuff, but now both players are sort of at a truce at the moment. They've both got a ton of Lings. Well, Jaedong has a bit more Lings, Life not so many, but Jaedong's not really building a ton more. He's still going Lings though. We do have a Spire coming out, so it is going to be Muta Ling for Jaedong, and Roaches all day for Mr. Life as soon as he can get them out, which is going to be no, I don't know, man. It depends. It depends on how hard Life can go at the Roaches, at producing the Roaches, because Lings, Banelings, I don't know. If Jaedong produces enough Lings, then he can possibly do something about the Roaches, but it's going to be hard. Because what the thing is, Life is going to be producing a ton of Roaches, my assumption is going to be. The Roaches can shrug off all but the most crazy Ling attacks. Banelings, nah. I suppose if he was desperate, he could throw Banelings at him, but most of the time it's just going to be Lings. So you need probably about 3 or 4 Lings for every Roach to really be able to wipe him out. There are Mutas, of course, but the question turns into, if your opponent has 20 million, bloody Java install. Yes, I want to cancel. I don't know why that thing keeps popping up, but the fact is, if you've got like 10 Mutas and your opponent has 30 or 40 Roaches, you are not going to win a base race. And your opponent is going to move on your base with his Roaches because there's nothing he can do about the Mutas. Meanwhile, he's pumping out Queens ASAP. Your Mutas are starting to get whittled down and you've got 40 Roaches in your base. So Mutas, they help, but if they're... You can build Roaches so fast, it's not even funny compared to Mutas. You just build a ton of them. And yeah, Mutas do not help if there are already a ton of Roaches on the map. If there's just a small amount, it's a bit easier to deal with, but if there's a ton of them, Mutas are not all that effective. So here we go, like this. There's about 10 Roaches there. That is going to be something the Mutas can start to deal with. But if there were 30 Roaches, not so much. The Mutas are a little bit less powerful against those. Here we go, a ton of Queens actually coming out to support the Roaches. I'm not sure about that because it's going to mean about, well, I thought maybe they were moving across, but it looks like they're just going for that section over here. We do have a Spore. No Queen by the looks of it, but Spore Crawler is going to be able to hold off a little bit there. However, Life, I mean, he's only just getting a third base now. Jaedong has had his for a while now, and his economy is really starting to blow up. So, if I still got, you can actually see my FPS thing. I'll get rid of that. The top left corner, that was just keep on going. So, yeah, he's actually 9 workers ahead, and Jaedong's starting to get his own Roaches popped out at the moment. He's managed to get some Lings into the main base, killing a couple of workers, I guess, having a good go at this Queen, but got knocked down really, really fast by the Roaches. Here we go, Fungal only manages to get 1 Muta, but that Muta is going to get destroyed by the Queen, so nice play here by Life to get those, and they're going to be able to deal with the Mutas very, very effectively. But Jaedong has turned around and gone for a ton of Roaches, and he seems to be macroing up Roaches like nobody's business. However, Life does have the advantage as he's, well, no, he doesn't actually. He's only 13 to 26. He hasn't been building a lot of Roaches, an absolute ton. I think he's been focusing a lot more on getting those Infestors up. I suppose dealing with the Mutas, but Jaedong, man, surprise, surprise, just when Life produces the ultimate way of dealing with mutas. Jaedong's like, you know what? I'm actually not going for mutas anymore. I'm going for roaches. I'm going to build a crap load of them. And now Life is stuck with a bunch of infestors, which aren't all that good versus roaches. So he's got to face off with his own roach army. He's building a ton of roaches, but then again, so is Jaedong. And yeah, it's all sorts of bad news for Mr. Life at the moment. He's just being, being knocked out at every single turn. Got a fungal off on the roaches, which helps keep him in place, which is good because Queens can do lots of DPS to them. But the fungals don't do that much damage overall. It takes like tons of fungals to kill these guys. And Jaedong just keeps building them, man. So 40 roaches over 25. He's got a few mutas as well, but they're not going to be all that helpful. Bunch of mutas actually coming in here. Actually looking at doing some stuff. Oh, they're crazy, man. Get it for the roach one. That's going to take ages for them to destroy. But of course, he's going for an attack up here as well. The Queen's supporting the roaches on both sides. Life, I don't know if he can hold this off. And even if he can, he's got nothing left to stop the roach one from being destroyed. So Jaedong has just thrown everything at this base at all these different locations. And he's finally destroyed the Roach Warren, so great timing there. With the main attack over here, which Life somehow managed to hold this off, but he could not stop the Roach Warren from going down. All these Queens were otherwise occupied. And here we go, finally getting an Overseer. This Roach is actually burrowing all over the place here. And the Muta's coming in as well. The Queen's vainly trying to attack them, but while the Queens are back in this base, the Roaches are coming back out to the main base. Did get a nice fungal though, so that's going to help Life definitely. Taking these guys out, but more reinforcements coming in. Life has the position advantage right here, and it might allow him to actually finish off these forces, but a bunch of mutas coming in, doing some damage. Life is starting to have a little bit of trouble here, starting to run out of roaches, getting some reinforcements, but the reinforcements are going to be a little bit skint for the next few minutes because, of course, he lost his Roach Warren. So Jaedong has the advantage, and now he needs to build a ton of roaches. He's even got a fourth base over there. Starting to mine back off. That killed a few more workers, so he's up to 18 worker lead. And he's continuing to focus on roaches, and it is working. It really, really is working. So he needs to keep the pressure on, do all of these good sort of attacks, and he is going to be absolutely owning Mr. Life right now. We can see he's saving up for a ton of roaches. Roach Warren nearly finished. There it goes. Whole bunch of roaches are going to be built any second. So only 6 actually. He's starting to worry about the gas a little bit, I think, but yeah, what can you do here? Maybe he lost a couple of workers. He's got 4 on this one, so that's a little bit of a fumble, but it's a fumble in the right direction. So maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. Bunch of lings around here. They're not going to last too long. Yeah, not too much going on. I mean, the macro basically says it all. Long-term, Jaedong has got this game won. He's got an army advantage right now. 132 over 97. You have a look at the upgrades. He's got 2 weapons versus the 2 weapons and 2 armor of Life. So I'll give Life that. He's got the upgrade advantage in terms of the armor, which definitely is very, very helpful. But I mean, Jaedong's starting to get level 1 armor at the moment. We'll see if that helps him. I mean, Life does have an advantage though, and that is the sort of defensive advantage. He's got the high ground here, which is pretty narrow. He's got narrowish sort of pass, and he's got a narrowish sort of pass here. So he's got 4 narrow passes, and as long as he can hold on to all of them, he's going to be okay. But holding on to them is going to be painful. It's especially painful if he wants to hold this. This introduces these 2, which is basically a 2 split instead of the 1 split which he had to hold back there, which is on a high ground as well. And this is on a low ground, so this is going to be a lot harder to hold. It's an extra passage, and it's an extra passage that's uphill. So not a good place to be. Oh, Jaedong! There we go. This base forced to be cancelled at the very last second, and ouch. That is not what he wanted to have happen. So not good at all. He's thinking about moving out, but Jaedong likes to keep Life contained right here. He's happy keeping him contained because, of course, Jaedong has the overwhelming advantage in the macro, and if he can keep Life on as little bases as he possibly can, keep him from just going everywhere and getting that 4th base, getting that economy up, then Jaedong can just fall down and just absolutely own him. So his gas is looking alright, the minerals are phenomenal, and now is the time where Jaedong wants to start moving out and start trading. He's got his 1 armor up, so now he can start to move in. He's not going to be able to snipe this base again. He wasn't actually expecting an army to be here, he was actually on a move command, and that's going to result in a fair amount of losses, but he may still have the numbers here. However, Life moving out to reinforce this army, And Jaedong, is he going to move the entire lot in here? We're going to have a massive battle in this tiny gap where it's going to come down to who's got the better concave. Is that really what's going to happen? I think it might be, because Jaedong is definitely looking like he wants to go in here. Here we go. Is he going to be moving in? He's thinking about it. No, he's pulling him out. I don't know why he's pulling him out, but Life is going for it right now. And yeah, Jaedong turns around, but most of the army falling back. And yeah, let's have a look at Roach numbers here. 49 versus 44. Very much almost even. The worker numbers starting to get up there. Life has made a push to get the Hydras. And this could be what turns the game around for him, if he can make this work. Because, yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, Jaedong is making the same push, though. Jaedong is making the same push into Hydras. And he's got the better macro. So, if Life was the only one making the push for the Hydras, I would say maybe it would give Life an advantage. But no, Jaedong is getting the Hydras as well, and that's it. I think that's it. I mean, I think Jaedong is still in a magnificent lead at the moment. He's starting to even it up a little bit. Life is anyway. He's starting to get closer, but Jaedong has had the advantage, and he's had it for so long. And I mean, they're pretty much even. I'll give him that. We got 59 over 3 versus 45 over 16. I think Jaedong may have the advantage there. Life chosen to go for a higher roach count because Hydras are so expensive on the gas. He doesn't seem to have too much gas at the moment. ZvZ gassing, it's okay, but still when you're building Hydras, look at where he spent all his gas. 3-3 upgrades, man. Life really, really wants to rely on the upgrades. But the question is he going to last long enough for those to actually go through and actually give him some benefit? Because right now, that's about 600 gas, which is basically not paying for itself for another 5 minutes or so. Or 3 minutes, or however long it takes. It's a long time. But anyway, I'm actually very surprised that Jaedong is not trading right now. He's just banking at the moment. And maybe banking will work out. We have seen a game before. I can't remember what the exact context was, but we actually saw a game where banking actually worked out. It actually did work out. Yeah, I think he just stole so many minerals that he was able to constantly boom, 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 hit the other guys so much. But look at this Life, man. He's got his 4th base fully set up, and he is banking as well. Not actually mining too much off this, but he is banking like a crazy bastard. So here we go. A bunch of roaches actually coming in, taking out workers. I think Jaedong has done this a few times so far, and it seems to have been working. Look at the worker numbers, 55 under 39. That is not where you want to be. He's doing, that's horrible, horrible. And now he's got to be thinking about trading right now. I mean, he's got to be thinking about it, because how long are you just going to be running around the map without a major army with like all these minerals just not helping you? He's waiting for his tech to go up, but what he doesn't realize is that Life is going to have his tech sooner. So there's going to be a time in about a minute or so, I think, when Life is going to have the advantage, and then it's going to be another 2 or 3 minutes after that, at least 2 minutes after that, where Jaedong is going to be at a disadvantage until he gets these up. And that's not good. That's not where Jaedong wants to be. So he's got to... Maybe he's waiting for his own 3-3, but the problem is Life may be pushing out when his 3-3 is finished and going to go nuts. Maybe these guys, I don't know, they have a gentleman's agreement not to do any major attacks, and Jaedong just keeps breaking it by sending the roaches in here. But look at this, man. Single kill, 3 roaches, single kill on the workers. I cannot believe that Life is letting this happen. I mean, for the cost of 3 spine crawlers along here, he would not have to worry. Oh, here we go. Big attack, big attack. Let's have a look. We got 51 versus 30. These roaches are starting to go down pretty fast for Jaedong, but the Hydras, it looks like actually a bunch of Fungus and Vipers actually blocking the attacks right there. We're doing a lot, and Jaedong actually losing quite a bit there. Life is going to be chasing him. I think, yeah, look at that. He's finished his upgrades. He's got 3-3. Now he's moving in. The Broodlord's turning around. They got a nice fungal back on Light Forces, and the Broodlords are on the high ground. They're going nuts. Infested Terrans coming down though. That's not good. The Roaches line is starting to fall. Life just has too many damn Roaches. And the Broodlords, they were a nice move, but the Hydras are getting in there, doing some damage. Finally, Life is pushed away. Pushed back a little bit anyway. And Jaedong managing to hold off on that high ground with the help of the Broodlords. And now Life has to start thinking about what he's going to do about those Broodlords. We see he's got 1 Corruptor up. But we can see the tail right here. I mean, let's have a look. 14 Hydras coming out. No 14 Hydras for life. He does not have the macro to recreate his army as fast as Jaedong has. So that trade worked out well. I mean, Jaedong lost a lot. He lost a ton, but he pulled back to the high ground, managed to hold it off. He may have lost more in that battle by a little bit. I don't know, because those roaches really were creaming Jaedong pretty hard. In the end, managed to hold off, and he managed to re-macro instantly right up to max. Life couldn't do that, and he ended up going down. So there we go. Yeah, beautiful game. Beautiful game. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching this game, and I will be catching you guys tomorrow with another one. So stay tuned. This is Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.